welcome. My name is Sophia. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Ichigo Knitter. You can find this podcast on YouTube under Ichigo Knitter, as well as on my podcast, this is my podcast, at my blog at dreamingworldsaway.blogspot.com. It will also be posted on a thread in the Ichigo Abroad Podcast group on Ravelry. Please feel free to come on over and join in. So, happy December. It is December 2nd today. It's Tuesday. Last week was Thanksgiving, and it was weird for me to not be in America for Thanksgiving. It's the first time that's ever happened. So I didn't do a podcast last week. I had lots of essays and performance, what do you call those? What's the word? It's a presentation. Woo! Losing my English. Okay. So I was pretty busy last week, but my friends and I all made sure that we had some way to celebrate Thanksgiving. So what we did was we made Buckeyes. And for those of you who don't know, which I didn't know until recently, Buckeyes are a candy. My friend who originally told us about them is from Ohio. So they make them in Ohio, and I'm sure other places. And they basically are peanut butter mixed with confectioner sugar until they don't stick to the bowl anymore. And then you take pieces of it and roll them into balls. And then you stick them in the freezer. And after you let them freeze for a while, you dip them in melted chocolate and stick them back in the freezer. And let them sit, usually overnight. And then you have Buckeyes, and they're magical. So, we made Buckeyes for Thanksgiving. And it was fantastic. So we all had really random dinner food. I had Japanese food for dinner that I bought at the supermarket. And then we all made Buckeyes, and we just pigged out on Buckeyes. It was great. So that was how we had Thanksgiving. We also decided, since none of our families were here, we would be, mature 20-something-year-old adults and all pretend to be one crazy family. It was great. We were all, pretending to be all these it was really silly. As mature exchange students do. And so, yeah, that's been the past week, I guess. It's now, since it's December, probably people have noticed, most places it's now full-on Christmas, and there's no denying it's exactly the same here in Japan. You walk into the grocery store, and it's non-stop Christmas music playing. Everywhere you go, there are Christmas-type items on sale. Starbucks has been doing their Christmas-flavored drinks since, the beginning of November. After Halloween was over, it was a free-for-all of Christmas. So, we've been in Christmas mode, but, now that it's December, it's real time. So my friend bought me a advent calendar, and it's a Japanese advent calendar, and it's called the Christmas English Book. And you open it up to the actual advent calendar, and each day is a letter that teaches you a word in English that has to do with Christmas. And so number 1 was Santa Claus, and day 2 was socks, which I appreciated because I love knitting socks. So I thought that was really sweet. She knew I really wanted one, but when I went to the grocery store to get one, they were all out, and I was quite devastated. And then she went and she got me one, and I was like, yes! So, again, being a very mature 20-something-year-old. Yay! So that's a lot of fun, and I'm very excited because in less than 3 weeks now, my mom will be coming to spend 3 weeks here in Japan with me, and so we will have Christmas together, which I'm excited about because I'm planning on buying lots of really silly Christmas things at the grocery store and at department stores to decorate the apartment that we rented. So it's going to be real Christmassy in a very Japan way. It's going to be awesome. It's freezing here today. I actually literally just went to a department store and bought a new jacket because I had bought a jacket probably a month ago. And it's like a woolen jacket. The outer covering of it is yarn. And it was fine for when the weather was warmer, but now it's suddenly out of nowhere freezing. So I had to get a down feather jacket. Totally worth it. I put it on as soon as I left the department store, and I was like, this is a significant difference. It's great. So, happy about that. However, over the weekend, it was very warm, unusually so, which was good because my roommate and I, along with my roommate's speaking partner and her friend, all went to Universal Studios Japan, and it was awesome. We've been planning this trip for about a month now, and the biggest deal for me was that part of Universal Japan is the magical world of Harry Potter. So they actually had Hogwarts built, and there was a ride inside Hogwarts, and you got to walk through Hogwarts and get on the ride, and the ride was awesome. And we got to buy butterbeer, and we had warm butterbeer, and we went into Ollivander's. Oh, it was really cool. And there were obviously the park isn't just Harry Potter, but the Harry Potter part of it was like, my childhood dream had been achieved. It was great. But there was Jurassic Park, which turns out was a water ride, and going on a water ride at approximately 6 at night when it's raining, not the best idea. But we did, and I was stoked, but it was great. We also went on Jaws, which was also a water ride, but that one I would assume to be a water ride. We went on Back to the Future. We went on a Spider-Man ride, which was super cool. We, again, as mature young adults, went to a 4D Sesame Street theater. Also cool. Not ashamed. It was great. It was a great day. I haven't been to like a amusement park in probably years, I'd say. When I was a little girl, for a few years, we lived in Florida, and so as a treat, my mom and my dad usually wouldn't go because he'd just be like, "Oh, big crowds." And I'd be like, "Okay, Dad." So my mom and I would go, and we would have to ride Pirates of the Caribbean for my dad. Yeah, Dad, you know it, Pirates of the Caribbean. He watches this podcast, that's why I'm casually talking to my dad. Hi, Dad. So that was always a great memory for me, looking back as a kid and going to Disney World. And so it was really cool to go to Universal Studios Japan because, Universal and Disney are connected, so it was really a lot of the same kind of feel, and it was incredible. I loved it. And there was a huge roller coaster. In Japanese, they're called jetto coaster, so it's a jet coaster, and it's huge. It basically encompasses the whole park, and so you get to see everything from up high, and it was incredible, and the view was gorgeous because it's like right next to part of the ocean or something. It was like a bay. It was it was gorgeous. So that was a really fun experience. I had an amazing time. I took pictures and videos. I'll probably stick them at the end of this. And it was amazing. I loved it. So that's my rambling of things I've been doing past 2 weeks. On to knitting. Okay, so I think the last time I podcasted, I was working on glove number uno of the Copperline Mitts pattern by Elizabeth Doherty. I have one knit done, and I love how it came out. This is the left-hand glove. So this is all finished, and it fits perfect. I love it. I think I mentioned before that I had to casually text my mom or Facebook her and be like, what am I doing wrong? Because I was reading the pattern wrong. The problem I was having was here. For some reason, I was just reading the pattern, and I was just, like, flipping it all around, and who knows what was even going on. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes I just let the pattern get the best of me, and I really just need to take a step back and be like, okay, I can read this. And sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm like, what's going on? I should really sit down and read the whole pattern before I start, but, hopefully someday I'll start doing that. Until then, I have my mother to help me. So she helped me out with that, and then I got to the body of the glove, and I was like, alright, smooth sailing. No. Okay. Little information about me. I don't know why this is, but forever and always, no matter why, I always mix up my left and right. You'd think I'd know by now, but I don't. Like, it's a good thing I can't drive, because if someone was like, oh, turn left, I'd turn right. And so in the pattern, it was telling me where to start the thumb, and I thought I was intentioning to be making the right-handed glove, but when it told me to go to the left or go to the right to knit stitches, I went to the left, I didn't realize it till a few rows later, and then I was like, yeah, I don't feel like fixing this. So I just kind of moved the pattern over a few stitches so that I would accommodate it and turn it into the left-hand glove, because I was way too lazy to go back and fix it. So this glove is not knit, like, verbatim. I thought it was going to be. But no, I was, thought I was doing the right thing. I wasn't. I really should never get too confident with my knitting, because once I do something significantly wrong. But it came out alright, and it fits, and I love it. So I am, working on the second glove right now. More slowly than this one. This one I cranked out the body of it, like this whole bit of it, I cranked out in like 2 days. And I did change the pattern a bit. The only mod I made was this top part here, you also do on the thumb. But when I did that, it came out too small to fit around my thumb, so I decided I would just knit all the way to the top instead of doing the top ribbing. But that's it. Besides, my weird left-right goofing. Whatever. So I'm on the second glove, and I've got yarn everywhere. Excuse it. So this is how much I have on the right glove, and I promise you this is actually the right glove. I've checked. You can see where the thumb is being construed, or words, I don't even know anymore. Okay. So that's where I am on my right glove. I just need to sit down and crank it out. It's very fast. Once you get to the body of it, it goes extremely fast. I think I did this in an afternoon. So not much more to go. I'll be starting the thumb soon-ish. And then I'll be done, so hopefully next week I'll have it finished. Excuse me as I struggle deeply to get this off my hand. And this yarn that I'm using is skein yarn from Australia. She's an indie dyer. Her yarn is absolutely gorgeous. She has her own website. It's if you type skein yarn into Google, it should come right up. This colorway is called Inlet. I actually won it in a contest that she had run, and she was super awesome and waited until I moved here to Japan to send it to me, which was so sweet of her. And she also has a podcast, and it's really awesome. I watch it all the time. So you should totally go check it out. And her yarn is gorgeous. I just love how this is coming out. And the color, on the camera it's coming out really, all these silver spots aren't silver. They're like a sea glass green, I'd say. But it's gorgeous. I absolutely love it, love it, love it. I've got so much stuff. Okay. I have one other project that I'm actively working on because I'm coming up on finals, so I can't really do much knitting, which is why the gloves are taking a bit longer, because I actually have 3 weeks left of school, and that means this week is classes, next week is oral exams, and essays due, and then the last week is finals. So, you'll know. So, this is my in-class knitting. I'm working on just a pair of plain vanilla socks. The yarn is Zombie Doodle Dandy, colorway of Desert Vista Dye Works. If you've never seen her yarn, seriously, Desert Vista Dye Works is probably one of my favorite dyers. She does all of these Zombuddy colorways, which have these fantastic zombie stripes in them, and then other stripes as well. And I absolutely love them. I'm obsessed with them. And this one, as you can see, has sparkles in it. I actually also won this in a contest too. I usually never win anything, and then like all of a sudden, right before I came to Japan, I was like on a winning spree, and I was like, it was awesome, and I love it. I'm so excited. So today, actually, I knit the heel of it. There's something satisfying about having an hour-and-a-half long class that you don't really want to sit through, and you get there without a heel, and you leave with the heel. It's magical. So I turned the heel, and I'll probably, I don't actually know how, I don't knit very tall legs, but I don't knit very short legs. They're kind of, I don't know, it'll probably bend down again to like here-ish, I say. And I watch a lot of podcasts, and everyone always says that they usually knit like I don't know, like 64 stitches. Is that, I think that's like a general range of stitches around for sock knitters. I'm pretty sure I have ginormous feet because I've never heard anyone except for myself say that they knit their socks 76 stitches around. So I'm pretty convinced my feet are huge. I am aware that my feet are wide, and I do have a ginormous big toe, like significantly large. Like I'm pretty sure when I think my mom told me that when I was a baby, my grandmother was like, "That toes are huge." So I have big toes. So I have 76 inches around on this. I cast on 14 and then increased to 76, and I have a ball with my giant feet. It's always interesting when I find a pattern, like a stitch pattern for socks, because there'll always be like multiples of something and it never adds up to 76. Well, half of 76, I can't do that. 38? 38. So, I think I have really big feet. I'd love to know what size you guys knit your socks in. I'm always fascinated by it because everybody really seems like that everybody has smaller feet than me. I don't know if it's just me. I think it might be. I think my feet are just crazy. But stick that away. So that's about all my knitting for right now. I still have plenty of, look at this. Seriously, you guys, I would totally check out Desert Vista Dye Works yarn. Look at the sparkle. Her Zombuddy colorways are awesome. I have another pair of socks that I knit out of one of her Halloween Zombuddy colorways. It was so fun. Okay. That's that. Yeah, like I said, not much knitting because after school gets out for winter break, which is from December 19th to February 1st, there'll be a lot of knitting. I have a skein of Madeline Tosh that I bought like a month and a half ago, and it's sitting up on my shelf there, and it's just staring at me. I think I've shown it before. I'll keep it again. It's mocking me with its lusciousness. Look at this. Oh, yes. It's the pashmina, so it's like, it's like heaven to the touch. And the colorway is Cove. And the yarn shop I went to is it's a yarn shop for the Amirisu knitting magazine. They opened up a shop in Kyoto, and it was super cute and super adorable, and I loved it. The people were so sweet. And one of the women that works there was sitting there knitting on a sweater in the Cove colorway of Madeline Tosh Pashmina, and I was sitting there looking at it, and I was like, I want that yarn. And I found it on the shelf, and I was like, yep, alright, this is worth, like, however much Madeline Tosh is expensive, but worth it. So, I'm planning on probably turning this into a French can-can shawl. That's the plan, at least. It's so squishy. Okay, I'm just gonna squish it. But, yeah, so maybe that'll get done over winter break. I know there'll be lots of knitting because my mom's coming and she's bringing lots of knitting, and that'll make me jealous, and I'll be like, I want to knit. So, that's the plan. Let's stick that back up there. Oh, I have not that I'm all over the place or anything, but I'm all over the place. The skein yarn I have her, this is the yarn that I knit the gloves out of, is Skein Artisan Yarn and Fiber. The colorway is Inlet, and her DK is 100% superwash merino. Her yarn is absolutely gorgeous. Like, I love just sitting on her site and looking at her new yarn. Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah, so that's yarny business. I've got a bit of other crafty business. It's not yarn, but I am in Kansai Gadai's manga club, and what the manga club does is each person has to make an 8-page manga, and they are all compiled together into one book, and we self-publish a book, and it's not for sale, it's just for the club. So we're not professionals or anything, we're just doing this for fun. So at the end of the semester, we each get a book with everybody's manga in it. And it's one theme for all of them, so all the stories have a theme, but they don't have to do it. They have nothing to do with each other, but they have a theme. So we decided on the theme of superheroes this semester because my friend already had an idea for a superhero comic, and I really wanted her to make it because I loved the idea. So we requested of Bucho, which is club president, is Bucho is like president, that we do superheroes, and so she let us. So that was our theme. So last Thursday was the deadline, and so I finished up my manga, and I've never done it before, so I was really excited, and I thought I'd show you guys what I did. I got to keep the original pages, and she scanned them so that they can be put into the machine that does all of the magic and makes it a book. So, this is my manga, and this is what it looks like. So this is actually the paper that real manga artists use. You see these black dashes up here are for the scanner's purposes, so it knows where the page begins, because the page actually starts there. And then you can see there's an inner blue line here, and that's the point at which the picture itself will be cut off. And that, it's very hard to see, so I apologize, but the little dashed line in there, all of the word bubbles have to be within that. So it's actually really specific and kind of tedious when you're doing it, and you don't really realize how tedious it is. But, so this is what it looks like, and this is page 1, and it says 11 down there, because it's going to be page 11 in the actual book. And so, oh, it's all out of order. There's page number 2! Yes. And my friend, she actually has a webcomic, and so she does this actively all the time. She helped me learn how to do panels, which are these things. Each one of them is called a panel. And it might come out looking backwards, I'm not sure. But Japanese manga are read here to here, so right to left as opposed to left to right. So we all made them right to left. See, I get confused. So that it would follow in line. So I just see they're pretending to be superheroes. Got a ninja frog because one always needs a ninja frog. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. I've never done this kind of thing before, and it was such a cool experience to do, to try and do another kind of craft that you don't really do usually. Like, I doodle in class and stuff. Like, it's just kind of what I do. But I've never sat down and made an actual manga like this. So it was a great experience. And my friend was a lot of help. And it was just great fun. So, if you're interested in comic making, really just doing something like this, even for fun, is really great to learn about even the paper is specific, and you use specific pens, and you use blue ink to originally sketch it out before you go over it in ink, and the blue ink, or the blue pencil that actually doesn't come out on the screen. There's all this stuff. It was just really fascinating experience, and I was really excited with it. And I can't wait to get the book, because I love my friend's manga. She made it awesome. It's great. I'm really excited. I'm like a fangirl of it. But yeah, so that is what I did. I was really excited, so I just thought I'd share. And one less nerdy thing. For anyone out there who watches the BBC show Sherlock, there has been this mysterious, rumored manga made of Sherlock. I came upon it the other day, so I did not pass it up. And here it is, the manga of Sherlock. If you've ever wanted to know what Sherlock Holmes was like in Japanese, there you go. Look at that. They actually look totally like the characters, which is really cool. But look, they're all speaking Japanese. I couldn't pass it up. It was just... There's John Watson on the back. Oh, brownie. Oh. Yes, I couldn't pass this up. I'd been hearing rumors about it forever. Like, everyone would kind of casually at one point or another be like, did you hear there's a Sherlock manga? I'm like, what? There's a Sherlock manga? Yes. Yes, there is. So I thought it was really fun, and I just couldn't pass it up. Yeah. So that was my nerdy purchase of the week. So, I think that's about it. I've probably been rambling. I think I usually do that. I apologize. But I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a wonderful beginning of December. Stay warm. And have happy knitting. Bye.